What's up, everybody? It's your boy Johnny back to do my review of this. I'm doing it a little later than I said, I apologize, but it's my review of the Super Deluxe edition of Prince's 1999 album. So I'm going to do a review and tell you what I thought about it, talk about the presentation, some of the tracks, the remastering, and my verdict of it, if you should get it or not. So we're going to get started. Alright, so here it is. This came out on the day after Thanksgiving. Came out on 11/29. Also came out on Black Friday Record Store Day, which, real quick side note, I did get one Record Store Day release, and it was this. It was Elvis American Sound Studio 1969 highlights of those sessions. Very good release. So I'm not going to do a Record Store Day video, but it's safe to say the reason why Prince didn't have a Record Store Day release on Black Friday is because of this, because it came out the same day. So this is it, the Prince 1999 Super Deluxe Edition. There was many different formats you can buy. There was a standalone CD of the original album. There was a 2-disc version of the original album with promotional edits and B-sides. And then there was this, the Super Duper Deluxe Edition of it, the 5 CD, 1 DVD edition. And there was also vinyl. They also had the original studio album vinyl. Then they had a 4 vinyl set containing the original album again and the promo and edits and B-sides. And then the huge 10 LP Super Deluxe Edition with 10 LPs and the DVD that comes with this set. So a lot of options there. So to fit your budget, there's many options to pick. You can just get, any of those. So, but I decided just to go with this. I'm not going with the 10 LP, only because when it comes to new audio that's like basically new officially for the first time, I like it digitally. That's just the way I've always been. I think a lot of people are expecting me to get the vinyl, but I don't think I'm going to get it. So it's just not for me with this release. But anyways, so let's get started. First, I already went through my unboxing of this, so if you want to go check out that video, check that out. So I'm going to talk about first the presentation. The presentation is amazing. It's a big, beautiful, nice, sturdy, thick box. Not really that cheap looking. Very awesome. The imagery of it. The it has the lyrics written in the back and all that. For track listings, this came attached to the shrink wrap. So if you need the track listings, it's right here. Just keep it inside on the box. Some people are complaining that it wasn't printed on the back though. And there's a hype sticker that came with it. So there you go. So that's cool, and it has the lyrics written on it. And let's talk about the booklet real quick. The booklet was great. It had 3 different writers in the booklet. I think the first name was David Frick. He's a writer for Rolling Stone. Great writer. I think he also has a book on Prince from what I remember. I think it takes place, of course, around the Purple Rain era. I think he wrote a book for around that era. And then there's a woman in here who writes about, I think, the sessions. It gives a little information about the sessions in here. And then you have, Andrea Swinson, something like that. And then we have, in the last writing, is Duff McFagan, which is the bass player of Guns N' Roses. And he basically talks about how Prince inspired him to do what he did. So, but this is a good book. It has a lot of great pictures from the era. A lot of great pictures from Bolio, who was a great photographer. That's one of my favorite pictures of Prince right there. Just great writing. So, and then at the very back, it has the track by track of the Volt track breakdowns of, information behind those tracks, which I think is great. I love stuff like that. And the imagery of this, it kind of reminds me of, I don't know how many Prince fans I have in here that are Elvis fans, because I am. It kind of reminds me, if anyone knows about Elvis's FTD record label. It's a collector's label. This is the type of stuff they did. Even on the Sony Legacy stuff of Elvis. So, really cool stuff. Great pictures. If you want to see all this stuff in its whole, look at my unboxing video. And they look like they scanned some original lyric sheets, which is really awesome. So, great book. Awesome stuff. Oh, and another person, I think Prince's friend pointed this out, embossed on the, maybe you can see it, on the book is the 1999. It's written there. Didn't notice that until he said it. So thank you, Prince's friend. And then we have the individual discs in here. They all come in their own individual sleeves. Awesome stuff. Really nicely presented. Looked like a lot of effort was put into this release. I'm telling you, man, whoever's been in charge of the layout of these releases and, you know, planning how they look and everything, they're doing a good job. I really do believe that. I mean, same with Sony Legacy. Those guys who have a holding on some of Prince's music, they're doing a great job. So the presentation for this, I think, is great. All right. So the big thing next is the music. We're going to talk about the remastering. We're going to talk about each disc. I'm not going to go track by track. I'm going to be pretty brief. So let's talk about the first disc and the mastering. Of course, the first disc is the original album, 1999. We all know these tracks, of course. So looks like the LP, except for the inside, but that was on one of the record jackets, inner sleeves. So let's just talk about this real quick. This is going to be pretty quick about the mastering of this album. What did I think of the mastering of 1999? It was amazing. The studio album, it was way overdue for a remastering. I think it's crazy it never got remastered since it's been out. Maybe you thought maybe besides an anniversary and all that, it would have been remastered at least once, but it hasn't. It always sounded hollow and it was missing something. It sounds great here. It's full, has a nice punch to it. Great sound. Really rich sound on it now on 1999. Good stuff. Good studio album. Remaster. I think it's great how they did it. So, all right, the Nest Disc. Nest Discs, but people have mixed feelings about it. They did this on Purple Rain Deluxe. The Nest Disc is called Promo Mixes and B-Sides. So this contains all the single edits, 12-inch, 7-inch, some stereo, some mono mixes, even some video version mixes. A lot of people aren't crazy about this disc. They just wish they got more unreleased stuff. But I have a different opinion about that. For me, as a collector of vinyl and of prints, I think it's great to have all these tracks digitally. Like, for example, you get in 1999 the 7-inch edit in stereo and mono. You got the promo edit of Free. You get How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore, of course, the B-side, more common stuff we had before. And then you have Little Red Corvette, the 7-inch version. All the Critics Love You in New York, a single edit of that too. Lady Cab Driver single edit. Because, you know, this is a very long... The original tracks on this album are very long. A lot of them are 6 to 8 minutes. One of them being over 10, which is, I think, is automatic. But it's great to have edit versions too. And then they have the special dance mix of Little Red Corvette and the promo edit version of it. Delirious edit, a Horny Toad B-side, automatic 7-inch edit, and a video version of it. Let's Pretend We're Married edit, stereo edit, and then the mono one. So that's pretty cool. Irresistible Bitch, the B-side. Let's Pretend We're Married, video version. And then an edit of DMSR, Dance Music Sex Romance. So it's good because some of those versions of the tracks were not released to the public. They were only on promo-only 12-inch singles or 45s, which some of them I do own. I want to see if I can grab one for you guys real quick. To give you an example. I should have done this earlier, to be honest. Let's see what we got. Hold on one second. For example, this right here. Some of these I just recently found. See, these are promo only versions of the album. See, we got this edited version of Delirious and then a full length version. And then here, well, this is from another country. This is the Little Red Corvette dance remix version. And here it is, a dance mix and the LP version. But some of those mixes that weren't available came on stuff like this that was not available to retail to the public. So I think it's great that we got these. So it took a little bit longer on that disc than I wanted to. So that's what I got to say about the promos and B-sides. Good disc. Of course, the mastering was great. It's going to apply for all of these, just to let you know. All right, so these next two discs is the reason why people really wanted this. It's called Volt tracks. A lot of unreleased tracks that are new to us. 23 previous unreleased tracks. But of course, a lot of stuff on these discs whereas bootlegs. But like I said many times before, I'm not a bootleg guy, so I really don't own these. Bootleg's not really my thing, but usually the quality's crap. And of course here, they're presented great. So I'm just going to run through these discs pretty quick. So let's start with this one, disc 3 of Voltrax 1. All right. So these are discs. I'm just going to summarize the tracks. So the first one is Feel You Up, which later became a B-side of a single off Batman, I think, from 1989. So this is an early version of it. And there's a different version of Irresistible Bitch on here. It kind of like sieges into Feel You Up to Irresistible Bitch. It was on the same tape, what I find out in this release. Then Money Don't Grow in Trees. Vagina, I think that was, Vagina was originally intended for Vanity 6. And I think he wanted to name Vanity Vagina from what I gather, which is kind of extreme. How can you market that? Okay, and then we have Rearrange. Then we got Bold Generation, which would later become the song New Power Generation for Graffiti Bridge in 1990. So the original version is here. And then we got Colleen. It doesn't say it's an instrumental piece, but it is one. I kind of wish it would state that, but when I was listening to it, I'm like, all right, when's Prince going to come in? You know? But it's a good little jam. It's a cool little jam of it. International Lover, Take One live in the studio. For me, I wouldn't call these takes really. I just think he just went really just through the songs. I guess that would necessarily like really just be called takes. But I don't think Prince really did his stuff as takes, like take 1, take 2. I mean, I could be wrong. But I think he's really just trying to get the feel of the song, International Lover. So this is take 1 of that, they call it. Turn It Up. I remember Turn It Up sounding like a Controversy or Dirty Mind track. It's kind of crazy that it's on here. You're All I Want. Then we got the original version of Something in the Water Does Not Compute. I want to say the tempo's a little bit more sped up from what I remember. If It'll Make You Happy. How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore, take 2 live in the studio. So probably just another version of him getting a feel of the song, working it out. So that's really CD3, Voltrax 1. There's good stuff on there, a lot of hidden stuff. Like I said, if you're a diehard collector and have bootlegs, you probably have all these. So, all right, so then next we're going to talk about Voltrax 2. So these are the ones we have. We have Possessed. We got another version of Possessed. We got a version of this on the 1983 version during the Purple Rain sessions, and now we have a 1982. So he saw potential in this track, but it just never came to be, I guess, on any album. And of course, there's a live version he did live with Prince and the Revolution during the Purple Rain tour that appeared as a VHS, which I had that version. Actually, I do have that on bootleg, the live version, and it actually sounds really good. All right, and then next is Delirious, full length. So this I thought was very interesting to me. I thought, this is just my thought about the full length version of Delirious. Maybe they thought about releasing that as, of course it was released as a single, but maybe they thought about releasing it possibly as a 12-inch single, and it never happened. They could have used that version, full length version of Delirious, as it's listed here. So I just thought about that when I was listening to it. I'm like, I wonder if they ever thought about coming out with a 12-inch single to the public and not just to radio or DJs. But this just contains a regular version we're used to. So I thought that was very interesting to include that. All right, next one is Purple Music. A lot of people really like the song Purple Music. I never heard it before, but apparently it's been floating around, and I enjoyed it. Good stuff. Then we have Yeah, You Know. I don't know if that was really intended for... Didn't really seem like anything intended for an album release or anything. Just didn't seem like it would fit. Then we got Moonbeam Levels again, which appeared on that really hokey Prince Forever Greatest Hits that came out after Prince's death in 2016 in the fall. Wasn't that great, that Greatest Hits? I kind of don't recommend it. It has weird edits on it. But it appears here. So now you have it on here, and you really don't have to buy that Greatest Hits unless you want some of those weird edits of other hits he had. All right? Then we have No Call You. And then we have Can't Stop This Feeling I Got. This also appeared in 1990 on Graffiti Bridge. So this is that track, which is kind of pretty much the same, maybe just a little bit different. Do Yourself a Favor. I really do enjoy this song. Due to the recent events that happened to me, I really enjoy this track right now. So Do Yourself a Favor is a great track. If you're listening to it, you know what I mean. All right. Don't Let Them Fool Ya. Then we got Teacher Teacher. And then the very last track is called Lady Cab Driver, I Want to Be Your Lover, Head, and Little Red Corvette. Tour demo. So I guess he made this demo to show the band how he wants these songs to siege into each other and play in during their tour. But it doesn't really touch on the head. You just hear elements of it, not really lyrics. So, but it's really cool to hear. So this is probably no brainer. What do I think about the Vault tracks? I think it's great. Some people are making a stink that a couple of songs didn't appear during these sessions on these discs, like Lust You Always and Extra Lovable. People are complaining about that. But give it time, people. I'm sure in the future we'll see that in some other releases. I'm sure they're going to remaster an album and maybe do another release like they did this year, like piano, like originals, and then 1999 album remaster. So they'll probably do an album remaster and then like a collection of songs, I think twice a year. But that's just me. So maybe eventually we'll see those. But these two discs, amazing. All right. So next, this is really cool. Is another, the last audio CD is a live show in Detroit, 11/30/1982. So right after Thanksgiving, this is a show recorded on the tour of 1999. Really great. Great to have a remastered show because I do own one and it's a bootleg and it sounds like crap. I think it's like from Providence, Rhode Island of 1983. So it's good to have a good show. Nicely mastered, complete show from the tour. Good stuff. Everything's balanced. Pretty great. There's not much to say, really. And the track listing, if you look at disc 5, a CD 5 and then the DVD, they basically have similar track listings, maybe with the exception of a few things. But basically during this show, it covers Controversy album like Controversy, Let's Work, Do Me Baby. And then it covers a few tracks from Dirty Mind, like Head and Uptown. And then the rest of the show is from 1999 tracks. You got Little Red Corvette. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, I don't know if I said Let's Work for Controversy. You got Little Red Corvette. You got How Come You Don't Call Me Anymore. You got Automatic, International Lover 1999, and DMSR. Dance Music, Sex, Romance. So, but a very good show. Good driven show. It reminds me and a lot of people how good Prince was in concert. So, good show. Greatly mastered. Awesome. So then we basically get a visual part. So then we got the DVD. A few people are making us think about this, and I have my verdict on this too. All right. So this is basically very similar to that last CD, the show, minus a few different parts in it. So yeah. So I'm going to talk about the mastering of this because people are making us think about this, I hear. People, you got to remember, this is shot on videotape. There's only so much you can do with videotape, and the quality of videotape, there's only so much you can do to master. So in some spots, it is rough on the visual part. The audio, same thing. It sounds just a tad muffled in some spots. Some of you people must have watched this really intensely because apparently I missed it on Do Me Baby. The audio and the picture are out of sync a little bit, and then it catches up. I need to go back and watch it. So that's one complaint I'm hearing about this. But other than that, I think it's great to have a show from the tour. I have a bootleg of a show from this tour. I think it's actually in Minnesota sometime in '83 before the tour end. And it wasn't that good a quality. The whole time is far from the stage. You get different angles in here. So you probably had a couple of cameras set up and you switched in between, but it was on videotape. So don't expect the remastering to be like HD or like a Blu-ray. That's why it's just on a standalone DVD. It probably wouldn't be worth the money to try to restore it for a Blu-ray. It probably wouldn't make that much of a difference, which I experienced this on an Elvis release in the past. So, but all in all, this is a good example of how the shows were on the 1999 tour. I think it's great to have. Minus a few little imperfections. Can't be that critical, people. Let's be happy we're getting stuff. So yeah. So with all that being said, do I think this is a good buy? Yes, I do. I think it's a great buy. If you can afford to get the Super Duper Deluxe Edition, get it. If you can't, get the single, get the 2-disc version, whatever you can do, and then there's vinyl available. I think it's great. It's worth getting for an essentials album. It's an essential album. It's an essential 80s album. It's an essential Prince album. All that. If you're just an 80s fan of Prince, you know, this is for you if you don't have it, man. I sent a rant video coming on with me about the 80s with Prince. I'll probably do that eventually. So that's really all I gotta say. I totally recommend this. I got it for $53. I think it went up to $60 now. So, and I just heard it hit the Billboard 200. I think it's at number 30 this release. And it got more physical sales than anything. So that's awesome. It's great that Prince's legacy is getting kept alive and people are giving a reaction to it. I think it's great. So I do recommend this. I got mine on Amazon. It was a little bit delayed. Probably because it was in so much demand, to be honest. So that's all I gotta say. Next video I am gonna do is something I did with Elvis. I'm gonna do with Prince. I'm gonna do another Prince video before I move on to another artist of mine. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys for watching. And if I don't see you guys until next time, before the year's over, I hope you have a good Christmas and a great Christmas and a wonderful New Year. But hopefully I'll see you guys before then. But thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you all next time. So see you later and goodbye.